Okay, I got two podcast setups here. I got the Shure SM7B, which I'm sure you've seen in almost every studio. And then I got little brother here, which is a little bit more affordable. This is the MV7. They also have the MV7 Plus. They're both Shure microphones. And I would like to know if you can tell me which one I'm using. I'd be really interested. And the reason I wanted to go over this for you is because this setup, the way we have it exactly right now, costs about $1,200. This setup costs about $630. And you would think, of course, that the most expensive one wins, but maybe not. And maybe there's a third option that we could consider that is far more affordable than both of these. But first, let's break them down. Let's start with the industry standard, this right here, the SM7B. This is a mic you've seen everywhere. Joe Rogan obviously has it. A lot of YouTubers have it. It's the very kind of professional setup, and it's the default. It's what a lot of people would consider the gold standard. Now, the mic itself is about $400, but what no one tells you is you need some other things to kind of boost the sound, because by nature, these things are really, really quiet. So you can't just plug this into your computer, unfortunately. You need what's called an audio recorder or an audio interface. In this case, we're using the Zoom F6. This thing runs about $650, and you need one of these, which is an XLR cable. So your total investment is roughly $1,200 before you even hit record. Now, does it sound good? Yeah, absolutely. It's a broadcast quality dynamic mic. It rejects room noise, it's built like a tank, and it will outlive you. Well, hopefully not. That's pretty freaking dark. But here's the reality. The SM7B is hungry. It needs a lot of gain, okay? It needs a lot of gain, and it requires a quality preamp or recorder to drive it, and that is the purpose of the audio interface. So if you have a professional studio, you're gonna be recording clients, wanna have a serious podcast, this is something that you can and maybe should use at your studio. But if you're starting out solo episodes or anything like that, $1,200 is a lot to drop on your audio interface before you even think about a camera. So let's move on to little brother. Okay, so we got setup number 2. This is the MV7, also a Shure microphone. And this time we got it connected to the Zoom F3, which is like a brick, and we'll show you what that looks like. Now, the MV7 is Shure's answer to making the SM7B more accessible, and it's $250. So it's not just the price that makes it more accessible, it has a huge difference. Even though I have an XLR connected to it right now, what I can do is plug it directly into my computer with a USB-C. But for this test, we're running it directly to the Zoom F3. That's a portable 32 float bit recorder, which is about $350. Plus the XLR. I'm not gonna include the boom arm. Now, I said one thing in there about the 32-bit float. So we got the MV7 and the F3, but the 32-bit float, what does that even mean? It basically means you don't have to adjust the gain up or down manually when you're getting ready. It's not gonna clip the audio, it's gonna kind of set an automatic gain for you. Now, it might be a little bit low that you have to boost in post, but you just don't have to fumble around with trying to get this to its most pristine sound. So 32-bit float is your friend. I actually forgot to mention that that is a capability on the F6 as well, which we used earlier with this guy, the Shure SM7B. Now, the real good thing about the 32-bit float is if you're just learning levels and stuff like that, this is perfect. I want simplicity for you. So this is a sweet spot, half the price of the SM7B setup, still professional, still portable, but here's my issue with it. You're still managing XLR cables, you might need an interface, multiple pieces of gear. Yes, you could plug it into your computer. I would say it's pretty reliable, but not all the way reliable. And I don't know, anytime I'm plugging something into my computer, I just feel kind of funny about it. Plus, you know, preamps and gain and all that other stuff, like, it's just better to have an actual audio interface. Now, we got to move on to a third option that I don't really have right here for you to see, but I do. And it's right here. This is called the Hollyland Lark M2S. Okay, I've been wearing it this entire video, and everything you've heard in the last however many minutes, this is what was recording it. And it's $115, not $1,200, not $630, it's $115. Now, I have it a little bit low so I can move it up, okay? But this thing is gonna plug directly into your camera or your phone or your computer, and the audio and video are already going to be synced. No interface, no XLR cables, no gain staging. You clip it on, you hit record, and you're done. Now it comes with 2 of them, so that way you could do on-the-road interviews, and I believe this is just an unbelievably fantastic option if you are just starting out and you just want to use your iPhone and you want professional sound, you can get it right here. Now, John and I have been using these for probably a month now, and it's just kind of like, look, I'm a podcast producer and I love the look and the aesthetic of a podcast. And sometimes, yes, of course, it could sound amazing, but this sounds freaking fantastic as well. And with all the actual post-production tools out there, which I would recommend Adobe Podcast, it's really a no-brainer if you're just starting out. So why invest in all of that when you could use this? And I have a studio, like I should not be saying that, but this is just too convenient and I'm in love with it. So let me give you a couple more things on this. The battery life is really solid. The range is really solid. Obviously, you can tell the audio quality is good because you've been listening to it. Now, I love high-end gear, like I said, and for client work, it makes sense. But I talk to people every week who won't start their podcast because they think they need like a $1,200 setup or a $600 setup, and you just don't. That's the actual reality of it. So if you're just getting started and you're recording solo episodes especially, and you want to create content without a bunch of gear, the M2S is a no-brainer. Of course, I'll link all this stuff down below, but just don't let equipment be the reason that you don't start. So real quick recap. This is SM7B. We had it paired up with an F6, $1,200. Industry standard, great for studios. MB7, they now have an MB7 Plus. We have that for $630 along with the Zoom F3. And then we have the Hollyland M2S for $115. All 3 sound good. Only one of them will let you start today, and that's this one. So follow me on Instagram at PodcastRich if you want to look and learn about any more stuff like this. We do like to talk about strategy and hosting and a lot other high-level stuff, but from time to time, through our fumbling of using all these different cameras, interfaces, lenses, cables, like all the things, all the messes we've made, we'd like to just kind of get out of the way for you so that way you can get podcasting as soon as possible. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and we'll see you next week.